It wasn't until Miles lost power in his apartment one rainy Thursday evening that the illusion began to crack. He had come home late, wet from the storm, only to find the building dark and silent. No lights, no Wi-Fi, no hum from the fridge or the neighbor's TV. He stood in his kitchen, phone flashlight in hand, feeling like someone had pulled the stage lights from a set he didn't know he'd been performing on. He tried to continue with his usual routine, reheating leftovers, checking emails, watching the evening news. But without power, he was left alone with silence. Actual silence. Not the muted background of machines, not the subtle buzz of electronics, but a thick, pressing quiet that made him uncomfortable in a way he couldn't name. He sat on the couch and looked around, and for the first time in a long time, he didn't know what to do with himself. Minutes dragged, then an hour. No distractions, no noise, just himself. And in that stillness, he began to notice things. He noticed how his body shifted, as if waiting for cues that never came. He noticed the flicker of anxiety that rose when he didn't get to open his apps in order. He reached for his phone out of muscle memory, only to remember he had nothing to look at. He stared at his hand, fingers frozen mid-gesture, like a puppet whose strings had been cut. That night, Miles didn't sleep well. Not because it was too hot or too quiet, but because for the first time in years, his thoughts didn't have a script to follow. There was no background noise to drown them out, no routine to occupy the mind. So, the questions came. Heavy, persistent questions that had been hiding behind the habits. Why do I always do things this way? What would happen if I didn't? Who am I when the habits are gone?